Child's Play. This is obviously the remake to the original Child's Play, a series that I think is still ongoing. This is a complete reboot, remake of the OG that we all know and love, Chucky. Now, this movie is directed by Lars Klevberg. It stars Aubrey, Plaza, Gabriel, Bateman, and Mark Hamill as the voice of Chucky, and it follows the similar story as the original, where the mother gives the son the toy. She doesn't realise it's evil, doesn't realise it's a sinister kind of nature behind it, and all shit breaks loose, basically. Now, I'm not a huge Chucky fan, Child's Play fan. I haven't watched a lot of them, haven't watched a lot of the sequels. I've seen the first few. I do enjoy them. I think they're good movies, great slashers. But it's not one of my top, not on the top of my list when it comes to slashers, but I still really enjoy them. So I was looking forward to this sequel, especially when I heard Mark Hamill was doing the voice. Now let's get into it, because I am very excited to talk about a slasher. I'm a big slasher fan, and this movie definitely was a slasher. Similar to how Halloween came out last year, it was the remake and it was a slasher, and I love that they're trying to bring back slashers. And I like that because it's not just ghost movies, it's not just jump scares. It's slashers, it's gore, it's fun, it's character, behind the villain. I really like that genre of movie, and I was a big fan of what they did with this one because it was a fucking slasher. It was very gory, it was very metal, there was some very cool scenes in here, and I just really enjoyed that aspect of the movie, being like, alright, they're not going to try to scare us every 10 seconds, they're just going to show us some crazy shit happening on screen, and I'm going to enjoy it. Now, as well as them embracing the slasher, which I very much liked, I was behind it because there was a lot of gore, there was a lot of cool shit going on. The actual actors were very good as well. I think Aubrey Plaza was good as good as you can expect her to be. As well as the young guy, Gabriel Bateman, I really liked his performance in this movie. He kind of had a lot to carry on his shoulders because he's the main character, and I think he did a good job being such a young actor doing that. As well as, I can't remember the side character's name or even the actor's name, but kind of he's like the detective. He's friends with the kid. He was very funny. He was a good character to have on screen. And then the characters you weren't meant to like, you didn't like either. You're like, fuck this character. And I actually really like that balance of like, no, these characters are cool, they're going to be awesome on screen, but then it's like, you're not meant to like this character, and we're going to make you fucking hate this character. And I like that aspect. I think it worked to the whole film, and the actors definitely helped delivering that, part of the movie. But when we're talking about characters, the one you're probably wondering about is Chucky himself. I think Mark Hamill did a great job with this voice. I think he was very funny, he was very sinister, he was very evil, and I liked it. His voice was really great, and you had some great scenes on his behalf. The problem with him, though, is the look. It does not look good. I understand they were trying to make like the CG so they can move his face look like he was actually talking, but the doll just looks silly. I think the doll almost looked better in the 1980s version, which was crazy to say, seeing as we're in nearly 2020, nearly 40 years later, or whatever it is, probably a bit closer to 30, but geez, it just didn't look that great, and that was kind of off-putting. It looked odd at points, but luckily Mark Hamill was so good that he was able to kind of undirect your attention to actually how the character looked, and you could ignore that and just enjoy who the character was, because the character was cool. He's a villain, he's going to stab, he's going to kill, he's going to put on some dope scenes, and that was cool on that behalf. As well as the whole aesthetic of the movie I really liked. I think the look of it was kind of like thrash, like it embraced like the 80s slasher, and kind of the look of the movie. It had some cool colours, nice colour palette for the whole film. I really like that aspect because it made the movie kind of feel individual at points, not just another ghost movie. You don't really see colours like this in a ghost movie or a horror movie nowadays, so I liked that. It definitely was over the top. There was definitely some crazy shit that you have to embrace the slasher, and that's probably the whole quote of this review is embraces the slasher, because it does. It embraces how silly slashers are and how crazy over the top they are, and it definitely does that. So I can see if you aren't enjoying it, because if you're not a fan of the genre, I definitely think you're like, oh, it's just a guy stabbing everyone, why am I enjoying this? It's a throwback to the OGs, which I really like. But the thing they were missing was kind of the human element, the story behind Chucky, because they were trying to, update it, and they kind of went with he's an AI, he's not, it's not possessed by, a voodoo doll or curses and shit like that. It's an AI that went bad, and that's cool, it works, it's a very modern story, but then you don't get the element of why Chucky's actually doing this, and what's his motivation behind being such a dick, and being a murderer, and being a really scary dude. It's it's just not there because you're like, well, I guess he's programmed to do it, but is he really? Because some of these things you switch off doesn't mean he should be killing everyone, and that was kind of like, you have to overlook some of those things, whereas in the original, you're like, no, this guy's evil. You know, he was a bad guy before he got turned into Chucky, and then now he wants to take the kid's life so he can, kind of steal his youth kind of thing. He just wants to live again, and that's kind of, you can see that motivation, whereas this movie doesn't have that motivation. It just kind of goes, alright, we're going to have some fun with it, and that's what I liked, because it didn't take itself seriously, it knew what it was trying to be, and I really enjoyed it for that sense, and again, embrace the slasher, that's where we're going to live, and that quote is going to stick with this movie for me, and that's why I'm going to give Child's Play a B-. I definitely had more fun than I thought I would with this movie. This movie, being a big horror slasher fan, I was just having a ball. I was just laughing. I was, some of the shit, I was even like, holy shit, like, I don't want to look, because it was like, no, holy shit, like, embracing the slasher, the gore, the metal scenes, dude, fucking metal. It was just a really fun movie to be a part of. Definitely holds, and I can definitely see if you like this movie a lot more than I did, or like this a lot less than I did, because you do have to kind of ignore some things or embrace some things that you don't, if you're not a fan of the genre, I can understand you not liking this film, but I did. My big negative was just kind of his look. I think that needed to be tweaked, but I'll be happy to watch a sequel with this one. But check that out. Sorry though, guys, it was a bit late with this review. I had some tripod trouble because I filmed with my phone. I have a little attachment on the top of my tripod that broke off, so I could not attach, the tripod to the phone, so I had to wait for that to get delivered, and it took a little bit longer, so I'm about 2 weeks late with this one, but I've also got my Spider-Man review dropping, so tomorrow check that one out, and then I'm going to see Annabelle's Go Home. I'm a bit late seeing that one because of Spider-Man came out on Monday for some reason instead of a Thursday, so it kind of threw off our weekly schedule, so we had to push back Annabelle a week later so we could see Spider-Man as quickly as possible. But that's enough blabbering. Make sure you do subscribe if you've never seen me before. Press that like button, comment. But of course, guys, have a good one.